Coach, I know this is a busy week for you guys. We'll get to that in a moment. Go back to last week and talk about your defense and the way that you shut down Northeastern. I wasn't surprised by the win. I was, I guess, a little bit surprised by the shutout because they can put some points on the board. Yeah, I was very impressed with our defense. I knew we had a good defensive game plan, but, you always feel good about your game plan. And then when you go in and execute it like that and to hold a tough runner like Cole Redder to 62 yards was just incredible. And our bend, don't break mentality worked. There's a couple times they drove into our territory. But for the most part, we were able to control, field position with our punting, and we had a few drives, and we kept our defense in good positions, and they did a great job of getting off the field and executing on third down. And I was just very impressed with the overall effort because we had a couple of injuries, and we had to put some guys in that hadn't got a lot of time in a very big game in a situation like that, and they came through. I was very impressed with them. And a lot of that, I mean, let's be honest, if you're not preparing them for that, they're probably not going to respond very well. Yeah, that's absolutely true, and we always make sure everybody's getting reps and practice, and we have a next man up mentality. It goes, with everything we do with our scouting reports and everything. So these kids are prepared, and most of them are just itching to get on the field and do anything they can do to help. And there was a couple of them that you just saw that big smile on their face when they got in and got to get a hit in a big game like that. And that's why you coach. I mean, when you have those moments. So it is a great team victory, and I was just very, very proud of how hard the boys played. Your effort, I've seen you guys in practice and the effort that you guys put into that preparation. I got to go back to that again. And it's not just the guys that can make the contribution that come in. It's all of your team that makes that kind of contribution week by week. Our scout team guys are incredible. We have a really good freshman class of football players, and for the most part, they're our scout teams, and they put a lot of time in. We actually have our own separate scout practice every day where they're running the other team's offense and defense, and the way that they were able to duplicate or replicate that offense that we faced last week, which was, out of the norm, was very impressive. They've done that a couple times this year. They did that against Shenandoah, which is another tough one, and once again, their effort, and they know they're not getting in there on Friday night, but they're just doing their part to get our guys ready. And I always let them know, that they were every bit a part of that victory. And I usually talk about them first. And they continue to impress me every week. Coach, the idea that your players haven't been in a game like that type of a magnitude, what does that say about your team? And we'll talk more about this week as it will be, ratcheted up a little bit. But what does that say about your team to step in there and win a big game like that? Well, it's awesome. I actually was joking around. I think our coaches were definitely more nervous than the kids. And I said, guys, I think they're too dumb to know how big this is. And I love it. But I'm joking. They knew the magnitude. And what's crazy is, not having experience winning that much, you would expect them to feel a little of that, the weight of that and the anxiety of it. And I haven't seen that one bit. And they're just itching to get at the next one. And once again, this week, I think our coaching staff's a little more nervous than even these kids are. They're just ready to go play. These are the same kids they've played since third grade. They know everybody. They all have each other's phone numbers. And I think they're already talking about how excited they are for this game, and they just want to get out there and continue to get better. It is homecoming week, and before we get to the X's and O's, how do you focus this week and to make sure everybody's on the same page? Because as you heard me talking to the other guys, there are distractions. Oh, yeah, homecoming week. Love homecoming week with all the awesome distractions. Last year it was we played Northeastern on homecoming week, and it scared the crap out of me, and, the kids – we're able to stay focused, do a good job, and we're just going to try and stay the path. We do have a couple fun things planned for them that I want to make sure they do get to enjoy it, and I always let them know that homecoming week's not a success if we don't win the football game. So in the end, that's all that matters. But we do want to, enjoy the things that are going on throughout the week. I was even dressed up with them today and stuff like that. But sadly, it was Jersey Day, and I wore my old college football jersey, and it still fits. That's back when I weighed like 290, so I was getting worried about that. But, we're just doing everything we can to keep them loose and just let them enjoy the moment because they haven't been able to be a part of anything like this. And our community is really enjoying the moment. And I don't want them to feel the weight or the pressure of that. I just want them to have fun. That's what the game's all about. Hagerstown, how do you explain what they do? I mean, they do so many things well with Hicks and Golliher and what their defense is able to do. It's just a really, really good football team. They're just very well coached. They're great athletes. They're in great conditioning shape. They're a type of program, type of players you want your kids to be like. And I'm just very impressed with, you could tell their preparation, everything's right up that same alley. And every time we watch film and we think we got all their plays down there, there's another wrinkle they do offensively. And I'm just impressed with what their kids can handle for everything that they do. And they're just a very well coached and very sound team. And so for us to, keep up with them this Friday, we're going to have to, emulate that and do the exact same thing. You know, I asked Nico about taking anything away, whether it's Gallagher or whether it's Hicks or whoever else might be in their offense. Do you take that mentality going in, or do you just say, listen, as Nico said, let's play assignment football, and don't worry about taking stuff away. Let's just play our game.
Yeah. Well, I can't give you the whole game plan, but I can tell you you can't completely take everything away with Oliver, Hicks, and Gallagher. You can go out there and decide and say, all right, we're going to make Hicks get the carries tonight, or you could say, all right, we're going to make Gallagher keep it and go, or then they're going to dump it off to Oliver. And not to mention their O-line's very good at everything that they do, and they got Swim out there and those other kids, so they got so many playmakers that if you pick your poison, you're going to get bit either way. So it kind of goes back to what Nico said, where we're just going to really have to go out there, play disciplined assignment football, know that we're going to bend a little bit, and just try not to break too much.
Well, then let's go to the other side of the football, and what do you see in their defense? Because they got another Gallagher over on that side, and just from what I can see, a defense that really swarms to the football really well, and they can play physical up front.
They remind me a lot of our defense, and how they play. They're very disciplined, great technique. They're fast and they're physical, and they do swarm. And going against an offense like ours, it's probably what they love. Because if you spread them out, they could be in a tough situation. That's not who we are. So it's going to be a ground and pound type game. And we're just going to have to fight and claw for those 2, 3, 4 yard gains and just keep milking those first downs and milking the clock and, see how it comes out. But Gallagher at the linebacker position, I told Cody, I said, he reminds me a lot of you, and I'd hate to go against you. So he's just good. If he gets a read, he's down the hill faster than you can even blink. So it's going to be tough for us, but I do think our kids are going to be up for the task, and we just got to make sure that we have our assignments down, keep playing hard, use our technique, and hopefully we can come out with a win.
What do you think this comes down to when that final gun goes off and you look at, I guess, the normal stuff, who makes the fewest mistakes and who executes the best, right?
Yeah, I honestly think special teams are going to be very big in it with the way they do their onside kicks and stuff. And we got pretty solid special teams as well. Both of us are to the you could tell that we really spend a lot of time on special teams. So I think that's going to play majorly into the game. And then it's going to be whoever can make the least amount of mistakes and keep their offense on the field, I think, because both defenses are the two best defenses in the area. So it's going to be interesting to see which one bends, which one breaks.
I've got to ask you one last thing. It's just coaching could be consuming and thinking about it all the time. How do you relax a little bit this week? And because I'm sure the players will look at you, and you said that before. I mean, they're going to react off of you, and you want to be relaxed. How do you get into the game and know that they can look at you in a calm nature?
Well, I have to distract myself. Okay. And I told my wife, I said, when I get home, rent a movie. Don't let me get right to the computer or something. I said, give me chores, do something. And that's some of the stuff we got going with the kids. And it's not nervousness or anything. It's just a game like this. For me, my first time in the area, getting the second year getting to play for the conference championship it's a lot of fun. And I'm so excited for the community that I don't want to fail them. And so we got to find ways to just get out there and, enjoy yourself a little bit, enjoy the moment. Actually, I was talking to Coach Ross from Northeastern. He works out in our weight room, and he told me, he said, just promise me that Friday night you'll take a second and look around out there and soak it all in and realize how much fun you're having. Because in the end, that's what it's all about. And I think it's two great teams, two great programs, two great coaching staffs going out, and it's going to be a fun game Friday night.